Hey everybody, JJ here. Welcome back for another special edition. This is a Wednesday afternoon in California, 6 p.m. on the East Coast of Zoom networking. And we're really blessed to have so many unbelievable speakers coming to speak for a group that we're now going to 2 days a week. And we have a young man speaking for us today out of the Sub2 community, the Pace Morby Sub2 community, one of the premier real estate education platforms in the country. If you don't know about it, look it up. Pace Morby Creative Finance. Great guy, great program. But today we're going to be having speaking for us is a young man by the name of Ryan Williams. Ryan, how you doing today, brother?
Hey, JJ, I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, man, fantastic. I am great. We got a lot of great people on the call today. Some new faces, some familiar faces. I'm really excited about the breakout rooms. Love the breakout rooms. But really quick, before we go into it, give folks a little, you know what? Give us a short little synopsis, and then after you do, I'm just gonna let you take it away. But you're gonna be talking about what today?
So I'm super excited to be talking about how to ethically steal leads from your competitors using Facebook. So we're going to do a little deep dive into Facebook. You guys are already using the platform, but how to use a little bit of a tool just to make that process so much easier.
Wow. That sounds really cool. So without taking up any more time, brother, take it away.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you so much for having me. And honestly, it's so cool to see a bunch of faces I know. Just seeing some smiling faces. The fun thing about Facebook and social media, guys, is there's like so many different ways to approach it. So I'm going to show you guys some things you probably haven't seen before. So I've been wholesaling since April 2020. And in that time period, or actually before doing that, I was running Facebook ads for yoga studios and dentists out in Dylan's neck of the woods, out in California. And for some reason, I couldn't find myself really understanding and relating with the hot yoga community because I wasn't really doing it. Like I probably could, but I just wasn't out there getting flexible and sweaty. But I was running ads for them, right? So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to stop doing that. Wasn't quite a fit. And then a couple of years later, I found myself moving up to Chicago. I just missed the cold weather, going from San Diego. So I went to about 70. And then 2 months later, after I moved back, it was about negative 55 degrees with a wind chill. It was crazy. And so if you guys have ever experienced that kind of cold, it causes you to come up with some ideas. So started, wholesaling, getting excited about that. And so let me share my screen. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. So fun thing about lead generation across real estate in general, right? A lot of folks realize that, hey, I have to do a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of manual labor, a lot of 1,000 calls a day on a triple line dialer, or I am trying to hire VAs and train them. And there's so many things that go with, essentially generating leads. And so if I could show you how to generate leads without cold calling, text blasting, door knocking, or even paying a guy like me $3,000-4,000 a month to run ads for you, how would you guys feel about that? Anybody want to hear how we can generate some? Okay, awesome. Sounds good.
Yes.
Especially not paying me, right? You're like, let's do it. All right. So I know it sounds crazy, guys, but like this whole process of managing all these VAs and I have a few, it's incredible, but there's a lot that goes into just generating leads, getting leads in that conveyor belt coming into your business. And so I'm going to share a few secrets with you about Facebook that's actually going to revolutionize how you look at online advertising forever. So let's take this road with me. So again, Ryan Williams. I'm a real estate wholesaler and just happen to be a marketer, right? Who's helped over almost 100 businesses now generate leads, book appointments for their business, close deals, and drive traffic since 2020. So what I love about marketing, people ask me all the time, okay, so if I spend this, how many leads am I going to get? How many deals am I going to close? What's going to happen? So what's the fastest way to actually leverage Facebook? Actually Facebook ads, so paid ads without gambling. It's a little bit of a challenge. A lot of folks I talk to go and run ads themselves. They try to figure it out. They just guess and throw stuff out there, but it's a quick way to lose a lot of money really quickly, unless you're starting with experience, like someone with our team. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a cheat code, the Facebook audience cheat code. Anybody here ever use cheat codes with gaming systems? I feel like Dylan, he's like, I'm totally cheating on whatever I'm playing. But it's like you enter the codes, right? You're getting to a point where, hey, how do I just move forward more easily, right? And so what I'm going to show you how to do is actually take your personal Facebook profile or that of your team. So it's not something you necessarily have to leverage your own, and use it to build personal connections with the sellers and buyers you actually want to connect with. So kind of a cheat or a hack to just get through and connect with the right people. So I'll share with you again those 3 secrets, and how you can use that to make a connection with your dream clients without spending a dollar in advertising. So it sounds a little backwards saying, "Hey, I'm going to go get leads from Facebook ads without spending money on Facebook ads," right? So I'll share with you guys a secret. So guys, to be totally honest, while I was running Facebook ads a few years ago, for yoga studios and stuff like that, I barely ever touched my first personal Facebook profile. My wife had to log into my account and update a post every once in a while, just so family knew that I was still kicking, right? And so my question is, before I started doing all this, is am I really going to be able to use my personal Facebook profile to connect with the sellers and buyers that I work so hard to get in front of? Like, is it actually going to be a means to that? But again, I'll show you a great way to how to actually just use this and streamline to build that process of generating high quality leads and get some amazing results. So the first secret. So the first secret here, guys, is people are already paying for Facebook to find your dream clients. And what I mean is, I guess raise your hand or drop a chat if you know somebody that's running Facebook ads for real estate. Either as an agent for motivated sellers. If you know someone, just say it's me. Like, hey, I know someone running Facebook ads. So I know a few. I run them for a few, right? For actually right around 50 right now. But people are already paying for that exposure to the audience. And what these companies are doing is working super hard to find who this target is. Like they're saying, okay, who's going to be someone that would, if I put an ad in front of them, are actually going to move forward, are actually going to be interested, are going to actually give us their information, are going to want to actually sell their property at the end of the day. And so the big idea here, guys, is, again, because these major organizations, I know companies spending $300,000 a month on Facebook ads. So imagine big organizations like that trying to get these, tailor their audience and tailor the engine of Facebook to find the exact people they want to get these in front of. You're really just kind of piggybacking on their efforts. So they're already paying for that, but how can we get access to it? So the important part about this, guys, is if you've ever seen low-hanging fruit, right? It's nice to not have to climb up the tree and go figure out how to get the stuff that's way up there. But if you can find the low-hanging fruit and learn to pick it from someone else's tree, you can actually get just access to fruits and be able to make some progress much more quickly. So let me see if I can share my screen and actually show you what I mean. So I'm going to go over here and move this out of the way. I'm going to go to Facebook. Now, have anybody ever been on their newsfeed and seen an ad on Facebook? You guys have seen something like this, right? You're looking at the ad, it says sponsored, right? So what these companies are doing is paying thousands and thousands of dollars. ClickUp, they're a multi-million dollar company. I wouldn't be surprised if they're in the billions now. They've raised a ton of capital. What they do is they spend money on ads and to get in front of their target audience. Now, this isn't a seller ad, but what this is you can see plenty of comments on this. You can see a ton of likes, hearts, right? You guys have seen that kind of engagement. So not only are they paying for these people, but they're actually paying to see people get exposed and engage with that content. So there's people running ads for motivated sellers, for real estate agents, for that type of thing. You see all these people, 1,000 people engaging with this. So wouldn't it be great if you just got in front of those people, the people that are not only seeing the ads, but actually engaging with them? So let me go back to the presentation here. Awesome. All right. So the second secret, and I'll show you how to actually do all this as we get near the end. So the second secret is that only the most engaged people are actually engaging with their ads. Now, you guys have probably seen some Facebook posts or ads that you've scrolled past, didn't touch, right? And then there's ones that capture your attention. Maybe they're ones that relate to finding or someone selling homes. Like you go into Google, You search how to sell my house fast for cash in X market, just to see who shows up, see who your competition is. You click on a few pages, and all of a sudden now you go back to Facebook and you're being followed with those ads. Has anybody seen that? Anybody ever? Yeah, it happens to me all the time. I'm checking out people's stuff. All of a sudden I'm being hit with all their ads. But the only time that you're actually going to engage with that post is when you're interested, right? You're going to like, heart it, you're going to comment on it, but you're only going to do that if they really capture your attention. And only the people that are actually not only in the right audience, but also are active on Facebook, are looking at their Facebook newsfeed, are engaging with the content, are going to engage with that type of ad. So the main thing to understand here is that, again, the likelihood of, if you could reach out to your competitors' most engaged audience on Facebook, the chances of them engaging with you on Facebook is much higher. That makes sense, guys? Awesome. Okay, so if you're gonna go and have these one-to-one conversations, JJ is all about building conversations, actually having conversations with people, right? You're not trying to automate everything. You're not trying to replace interaction. But if you can talk with sellers or talk with people that you can network with and do deals with in other Facebook groups and things like that, you'll actually be able to engage with those people one-to-one, have some technology help you start the conversation, but you really help have that conversation as a real person. All right, guys. So the third secret. So the third secret is that you don't actually have to stop with this type of organic outreach. So what if you took someone else's engaged audience, you built a list of those, right? You just stack those together and you said, okay, not only are these people the right age group, the right demographic, the right area, the right market for my type of advertising, why not train Facebook with data of the most engaged people? So again, you eliminate the guesswork by actually letting Facebook go do its thing, and you assisting it with that information that you've gathered over time, whether it's you, your team of VAs, that sort of thing. So what you're doing here is you're finding these people, right? You're building a list. And let's say we saw that post with over 1,000 comments. That's 1,000 people that are engaged with that type of market. So if I was a company like Asana competing with ClickUp, I would go put my ad in front of people like that. So I'd grab that list of 1,000 people. I'd go say, okay, Facebook, find me people like these. Then you're starting off on the right foot. You're not guessing, and Facebook is looking for people just like that. So it's pretty interesting. So what happens there, guys, is instead of gambling, like we saw in the beginning, that roulette table, you turn this into a situation where you're actually, it's more of a game of skill. You're giving Facebook exactly what it needs to go find the people that you want to engage with. And then you could, again, run ads. You don't have to, right? But that's one of those things where it's much better to start with some data than to guess and gamble money like this, right? I don't like going to Vegas, guys. I know some of you guys love that kind of trip. I'm like, you know how long it took me to make that money? I just lost that in like 15 minutes. That hurts. So guys, with Facebook technology, with thinking about ads, like I know what you're thinking, right? It's amazing that you can do that, right? You can go find people, you get that Facebook stuff, but how am I going to go find the type of people that you're looking for here? So the tricky thing is that, even if people had figured, like, just guess that, hey, maybe I can piggyback on other people's ads, that'd be amazing. It'd be hard to really follow that, track that, really make that a consistent part of their process. And so I actually accidentally found a Facebook CRM that will actually let you track someone else's Facebook ads and automatically send them the most engaged leads, and then be able to send them text blasts, but just on Messenger, and start those conversations. So let me just share with you what that looks like. So I'm going to stop. I'm not going to stop sharing. I'm just going to minimize. Almost clicked the wrong thing there. So what I'm going to do here is show you an example of, give me one second. So this is a Chrome extension that sits on top of Facebook. And really what it does is, actually, I'll just kind of highlight this real quick. So what it does is it'll go over your Facebook Messenger, and it'll let you sort and tag people and call them whatever you want. So then what you can do is when you go into, once you've tagged all these people, so imagine you're tagging people as you're having conversations with them. You're starting to build your list. You go to what's called the back office here. And then you can see a list of people. So I'm just going to go to an example tag, which is, think of it like a pipeline stage of agency owners. So all these people are people that own an agency, and I can just, click one of these here, and I could either change them to a new pipeline stage as I've had a conversation. Maybe I have a message sent stage, and then I move them to active conversation. Then I move them to, someone that's actually wanting to either receive an offer on their home, or they're interested in selling their home. You just progress them through your pipeline. You can send them messages, and you can come up with different types of messages. So as an example, let me go to one of those with some messages built in already. So in here, you have these basically pre-made messages. So you can kind of select what you want to send out. Each section of this will automatically switch out the introduction. So for example, where it says intro here, if you say hey first name 100 times on Facebook, you're gonna get that little red dot that says Facebook says, we're gonna put you on timeout for a little bit. So to avoid that, this actually dynamically changes all that, so you don't have to get stuck in Facebook jail for sending out the same message. So what this does is it alternates all these different things. You have a few different components, right? You add an introduction, you add a body question, or a body and the statement, and then a question. And so you end up being able to send out messages to multiple people, whether it's follow-up or engaging new people, without being, copy and pasting from a Google Doc and that sort of thing. So as we're thinking about following up with these posts, and basically a Facebook ad is just a post. It's just a post people are paying to show to more people. So what we're going to do here is, let's pretend that this first one is a Facebook ad. So all you need to do is to grab one, is you go to the ad itself. And again, you can find these by either using the Facebook ads library and looking it up, which I can walk through at another time, or as you go to someone's website and it follows you on Facebook, and you say, okay, that's one I want to follow. Let me copy the link. So you would just go to where it says, let's go an example for here, like where it says a day. I'm going to open this post. I'm going to copy that link. Then I would just go right over to the back office, paste that link. I'm not going to do it here because it's already saved. And then you have this kind of tracker where you have all these posts that you're tracking. So these could be other people's ads in different markets. You can label them in ways that just help you find that later. Then you just go over here to view post. So now you're not wondering, where did I put that post that people were engaging with that was helpful, or where is that ad that I found? You just save it right there, and it will show what's going on here. So what happens here is you have all these posts underneath here. So you can either go and just start having a conversation with people who are engaging with this. So I'm going to open this up, and at the top here, you see that you can add a new tag, and then just send out messages to everyone that's engaged with this content. So just like it was an ad, right? You're actually engaging again with people who are already engaged with the content. And then you could also have it automatically comment on other people's posts. So someone else's ad, right? You can have it comment on the ad. So you can say, hey, thanks for, or I saw you're interested in some of the same stuff I am. You mind if I send you a DM? And then it opens your DMs, it sends a DM automatically. So it's pretty cool that you don't have to actually follow up with it yourself. You just go in here and save it once. When you're ready, you just hit start, and it'll start commenting on each comment and then sending a DM. So what this means, as JJ's talked about in the past, like leveraging the Facebook algorithm and making sure you have exposure. So you can actually use this to keep that post or that ad exposed to more people, because people are engaging with it. So it's showing Facebook, hey, show this to more people. People are liking this post. And then you're as people are commenting, you're actually getting traction on the leads, because you're being able to follow up, send them engaging messages, and it doesn't automate the whole conversation, but that's not the point. It's meant to start it, and then you as the human steps in and actually has that conversation with the seller, with the buyer, whatever type of lead you're going after with the ad. So I'm going to go back over here quickly to the presentation. All right, so that's a simple free tool. I'll show you how to get that actually for free. So I'll give you the guys the link for that. So what this ultimately means, guys, is that you can systemize this process to the point where you can have outreach automated and still keep that personal touch. So if you have VAs on your team that are leveraging that tool, they can be adding people into a pipeline that everyone has access to. And then you can have those conversations. It could be someone else that's nurturing those conversations, but really just using a tool to make this process easier. Because tracking those ads down manually and trying to copy and paste all that and keep that in an Excel sheet gets pretty crazy pretty quick. So all right. So what is this going to do? So basically, you just find an ad, you hit a button, that start button, and presto, instant access to those conversations, everything starting. And again, you're getting access to the same audience that people paid thousands of dollars to teach Facebook how to find, right? Like people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on Facebook, and if you can just find some businesses that are marketing to the same market you want to be in, and that are doing a lot of volume, you can capitalize on what they've kind of put together over time that's helped them to find the right audience. So as a real estate investor, wholesaler, and a marketer who's generated tens of thousands of leads with Facebook, what I do is really leverage the experience I have with lead gen and build systems to help make it simple to get leads. No experience required. So I've hopped on several calls even over the last couple of weeks here, just thinking about in 2022, I want to help more people get to leads without necessarily saying they have tens of thousands of dollars to get started. So absolutely willing to be a resource to you guys if I can just walk you through how to use the free tool. But so, what I found is pretty amazing, right? The CRM that's free, because you can organize your conversations in Messenger. You can send out these bulk messages, and really, if you want access to some of the more ninja features like that, those are there for you as well. So some people just look at that and say, if I could just add tags to my messages. So if I could add all the tags for JJ's community and say, okay, now I know who these people are, or all the tags for people in sub 2, then I could make sure when someone reaches out, I don't dismiss them or forget about it, because I know where they're from. I can have a conversation, so I can follow up. And so, okay, so guys, in terms of like how you get access to it, so what I'll show you is if you go to my Facebook profile, there's a little link in the description right underneath my name. In that, there's an option to go get the Messenger CRM for free. So you just click that link, and then you click into the page. You click away from the page, and then a little pop-up will show up. It says free basic account. It's unlimited for life, so you can go ahead and use that to your heart's content. So I hope that helps. All right, so yeah, not sure how long this will be free. I mean, it's one of those things, kind of like with these new tools that come out, and they're excited. You talk about it for a little while, and all of a sudden, then they start charging for it. So yeah, while it's free, while it's lifetime, you might as well get access to it now. So click the link. So and some of the other things just to be aware of. So we're always here to help in terms of with real estate investors, wholesalers, agents who are struggling to get motivated seller leads, retail buyer seller leads, all of that. And we've done some other things as well just to make this process easier. So we do have a custom built CRM that we just like give out. I mean, it's just another kind of freebie. So anybody's interested in how to get that, happy to share the details on that. Basically, our clients have paid us thousands of dollars a month for for each client doing that. We've just learned from that. We've refined it. They've had questions like, hey, how do I get photos from a seller? Oh, well, great. Let's just add a form where we can send it to them. Then they put their information in, they get the photos back. It shows up in the profile. So, we just make changes like that over time. And so we just share that as a value add to make sure people can get started without having to start from scratch. I mean, opening up a new CRM and looking at it with a blank slate can be daunting for anyone. Definitely for me, it takes a while to put all that stuff together. So it does happen to connect with the CRM, by the way. So you can link up pipelines and things like that. And then we also run ads for folks. So Google, Facebook. So if you're wondering like how to actually leverage some of that data, I've had people just say, hey, look, I'm running my own Facebook ads, but can you just give me some ideas how to use, the data, how to do things, how to adjust things. So you're starting off without wasting a bunch of money and throwing a bunch of money at Facebook. They'll take your money, but trying to make sure that, you get started off on the right foot is always a benefit for us. So with that, guys, I can't wait to see you using the tool to actually get leads. And have an awesome day. So let me just do one more thing before I dive in here. Something else to consider about using this, right? I think as I've looked at this process, you can definitely get overwhelmed with like plugging in scripts and trying to figure all that out. One of the cool things you can do is for those of us that are more tech savvy or have some of these processes already documented out, you can actually save these in what are called frameworks. So you can save some scripts so that you can send those scripts to someone so they can get started from scratch. I don't have any built out in detail just yet, but check in with me in a couple weeks. I'm actually going to be building some of these scripts out. So you can start off with the pipelines, the scripts, everything from scratch. So you don't have to go in there and build it yourself. So I hope that's helpful there.
Ryan, that was fantastic, brother. Great gold nuggets. Showing people, how to basically get those leads, from Facebook, and that's all. That's great stuff to know. I know we got probably a series of questions here that people want to jump into the Q&A, but really quick, we're going to go to the breakout rooms, and people can mingle and talk. So, those of you that are on the call right now, hold your questions. Remember them. Maybe write them down. And for those of you not on the call, keep looking to Flip Side Up with JJ for more presentations, more Zoom calls, and sign up for a group and join us in the future. Other than that, everybody else, we'll see you next week. Over and out.